So let's say you just got yourself a new vehicle, and upon leaving work after your shift, you step outside and your vehicle is gone. Yeah, that happened to me once. Thank you for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. This happened about a year ago, and I didn't talk about it with you guys at the time. I'm not sure why. I guess I just chose not to. I guess I wasn't really in the mood, and I kind of wanted to forget all about it, but it's been a year now, and I guess I'm over it. So I could talk with you about it and not get too angry. So what happened? I'm a delivery driver, and during this, a year ago, I was working for Pizza Hut, and I've been working for Pizza Hut at the time. I was going on my third year, and I had just got a new vehicle. And the way I got this vehicle, before I owned this vehicle, which I have now, I owned a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, a 97, and I had it for several years. It was a great vehicle. But the driver's side door started coming off because, if you know, delivery drivers are in and out of their vehicle quite often. And when I had purchased it from a lady who, when she broke up with her boyfriend just completely ripped the door off the hinges. It ripped it right off of the car. And they got it fixed, but you know, it was destined to eventually just continuously break, especially, you know, doing the kind of work I do. I'm in and out of the vehicle all the time, so I was putting a lot of wear on those hinges, and the door kept falling off. So my mother says, hey, I want to get a new van, and the place that I'm going to get it is offering me $2,000 for any vehicle that I give them. So it seemed reasonable for me to give them my Jeep, and then they would give me their van, and then them being my parents, then they would go and use that Jeep to do a trade-in on a new van for themselves. So I ended up with a 2007 light blue Dodge Caravan. Not the most masculine of vehicles, but it works, and I didn't have, you know, to get the door fixed all the time. So it seemed like a pretty reasonable thing to do. So anyway, I had probably had the van for about a month at this point. And so I'm at the end of my shift. I'm on my way back to the store, to Pizza Hut. And I'm pulling up, and I see a guy walking kind of along the road that leads into the parking lot of Pizza Hut. And it was late. I was coming back from my last delivery. So it was about 10:30ish or so in that time, 10:30 p.m. You know, I'm usually not somebody to judge somebody based on their appearance, but this guy kind of looked rough around the edges. And I thought, well, I didn't really think too much of it because it's not really super irregular for people to be walking around in the area that I was working, but I still kind of felt uneasy. So I pull up to the door, and I stop, I park, I get out, and as I get out, I'm like, you know, I should probably take my phone in because this guy might try to come around and take something out of my car or something. So I'm just going to take my phone with me, and at the very least, he might steal my cigarettes or something. I wasn't really too worried about it. To tell you the truth, the thing about it is that the town that I work in, it's like Mayberry, guys. You know, it's very much a small town, and bad things don't really happen there so often. I'm not saying they don't ever, but I guess even Mayberry's make-believe, right? So I take my phone, I go inside, and I start counting down my drawer, and I needed $5 more to even out my tips for the night, and then I could get I could turn in my small bills for big bills. So I go back outside. I had a $5 bill in the console of my van, and I go back. We're talking seconds, guys. Seconds, just long enough for me to go inside, count the money that I have really quickly, and then go, oh, I need another $5 to make an even 10. I step back outside, and my van is gone. Gone. The people that I worked with there were great. They're great people. And I thought, well, they're playing a joke on me. Ha, ha, ha. Where's my van, guys? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, yeah, funny. Where's my van? And they're like, we don't know. And at this point, I realize that they're telling me the truth. And the first thing I thought of was that motherfucker stole my van. Here I am worried like he might take my phone or he might take some cigarettes. No. He takes my van. The whole fucking thing, right? So I immediately call the police. The police are just up the road. The jail is just up the road from where I work. And they show up. I give them all the information I can. I couldn't really remember what the guy looked like exactly. It was just like, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to him. I just knew he looked a little rough, right? They put out a dispatch or whatever and keep their eyes open, but I'm basically told we'll probably recover your van. It may not be right now. It might be tomorrow. It might be a week from now. Do you have somebody else that can come and get you? So, wow. Yeah, I guess I just decide, hey, I'm going home. I got to go home, and I am pissed because this is my vehicle that I use for work. This is my vehicle that makes me money so I can afford the things that I can, which is basically everyday life stuff like food, drinks, cigarettes, and my phone bill, things like that. And who the fuck steals your fucking car? For real. It was just so much disbelief. So much anxiety was happening. I lost a lot of sleep over it. I really did. And I seriously battle with depression and anxiety and insomnia as it is. So this did not help. I couldn't go to work. I had to call in every day. And lucky enough for me, I was, I'd established myself as a good employee. I was a benefit to the company. I was a benefit to the store for sure. They let it slide for me. They were like, no, you know what? You can figure it out. Whatever you do, just, there was just no other vehicle for me. I put up a GoFundMe and I tried to get people to help me because I was like, my car's gone. My van is gone. Insurance wasn't going to help me because I left the keys in the car, right? I was fucked. So the GoFundMe got me about $130. There were nice people who did contribute and donate, and I'll forever be indebted to them. That was wonderful of those people. I was trying to get enough money to get another vehicle so I could go back to work, and there was just nothing happening. 2 weeks go by. I'm still not working, and at this point, I'm thinking it's a matter of days before I have to quit my job, right? I wake up one day. I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet. I get this phone call. I answer it, and it's like, hi, my name's Deputy so-and-so. I work at the Sheriff's Department out in Lafayette, Ohio, and we have found your vehicle. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. You found my van. Holy crap. Cops are heroes. Cops are wonderful people. Thank you so much. Is the van okay? Is the van okay? What's going on with my van? Is it all right? And yeah, I can see it right now. Everything's fine. It looks good. It hasn't been no car accidents, no wrecks. All the wheels are there. It looks fine. It's like, awesome. I'm like, well, when can I come and get it? And they're like, you can come and get it as soon as you want to. So I had to figure out getting out to Ohio from where I live. Now I live in Indiana, and Lafayette, Ohio was about 3.5 hours away. So I figured all that out. The story of the man who stole my vehicle. This man was a habitual offender. Get this. This is where it gets really good. So as I mentioned before, the jail is just up the road. Remember that? So this guy gets out of jail. Okay, he just gets out of jail and steals my van. That quick. He gets out of jail and steals my van. Rather than call somebody to come and get him, he had a buddy apparently that lived up in the city, which wasn't too far away from where we were. Instead of calling somebody to come and get him, he just steals my vehicle. Now, yeah, this is the kind of person that belongs in jail, right? Wouldn't you agree? He's a habitual offender. Not only is he a habitual offender, but apparently he was a heroin addict, and in the town of Lafayette, Ohio, he had been stealing vehicles at least once a week, guys. He would leave his house, he would go search the parking lots, he would find a vehicle, he would steal that vehicle, and he would drive it to whatever town he needed to go to pick up his score of heroin. He would drive all the way back home, and then he would ditch the car. So the cops over there put out a bait car for him, and he didn't take it. And the reason why he didn't take it was because he was serving time in Indiana on a 10-year-old warrant. So he wasn't around to take the bait car, and then when he came back home, he had my vehicle. Now, to add insult to injury, I had a paycheck in my car that I had not yet cashed. The paycheck was for like $178, and I immediately told my boss, hey, I have a paycheck in the car. You guys need to cancel that paycheck, okay? Guy cashes my check at a place called Ace Checking, or like Ace Cash check cashing company. I'm getting tongue-tied, but you get the picture. So he cashes my check. He gives him a false social security number. He forges my name and all this shit, and he gets $178 and then goes to Walmart and buys like a year's worth of deodorant, new socks, new shirts, new shorts, just all kinds of stuff he buys with my paycheck, which should have been canceled. If they had canceled that check, it would have showed up as canceled, and he would have been in trouble right then and there when he tried to cash the check. But anyway, as I was saying, the cops noticed that, that bait car that they set out is still sitting around, and they can't figure out why. Where's this guy at? So they start kind of like looking out for him. They were paying attention to this guy. They, like I said, they had suspicion that this guy was stealing cars. All signs were pointing to him. I don't know a whole lot of details about that, but basically, they eventually see him driving around in my van. So they're like, wonder where he got that van. So they did a check on vehicles reported stolen that matched the description of my van. They find that he had actually served some time in Hendricks County, which is the county that I live in. And they found that the night he was released from jail, my vehicle was reported stolen, which matched the vehicle that he was driving around in. Excellent detective work. They put two and two together and knock on his door. Place the motherfucker under arrest, and they give me a call. Hey, we got your van. So I go with my father all the way to Ohio. I don't know that he's cashed the check at this point. I think everything's good and clear. I had already been cut another check from the people or from the company that owned the Pizza Hut that I worked for. I get my van back. I get inside, check it out. All these clothes. There's some new Nike tennis shoes in there. I got some new socks, man. I got some new shorts, man. All kinds of good stuff. I had a year's worth of deodorant, man. This guy, and I'm like, wow, look at all this stuff that I get to have for free. I got this Top Gun shirt, man. Yeah, Top Gun from the movie. A camouflage Top Gun shirt with the sleeves cut off. If that doesn't scream white trash, I don't know what does, but I love the shirt for some reason. I think it's more like it's a token. It's just a funny thing for me to own and wear around and be like, hey, guy stole my van. I stole his fucking Top Gun shirt. What now, motherfucker? So anyway, I get my van. I go back home. Everything's great. You know, for a while, I go back to work. I'm like nothing ever happened. Then about 3-4 months later, I get paid one day from work, direct deposit, and immediately the money has been taken back out of my account. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So I call up my boss at the time. I say, hey, I don't know if you know what's going on, but I was paid, and then they took the money away. And he was like, yeah, I do know what's going on. We need to talk. And I'm like, okay. You know, again, keep in mind, I have no idea that the guy's cashed my check. Yeah, so I go to Pizza Hut. My boss tells me the franchise owners are saying that they have video footage of you, me, Drumblanket. They have video footage of you cashing both checks. And I'm like, no, they fucking don't. You know? I'm like, they didn't, no, it's fucking impossible. They don't have that. I'm calling bullshit. And so the boss is like, well, we're going to have to further investigate. I was like, fine, do that, you know? Like, I'm not going to risk my job where I make money all the time just to fuck around a company. Like, I'm not stupid, you know? And then it turns out that it was the check that they were supposed to fucking cancel and didn't. And then they wanted to cause me problems. So I call up the company, the Ace checking company, and I ask them, I'm like, listen, you know, my boss's bosses are telling me that you're saying that you have video footage of me cashing these checks. And the guy's like, no, we don't have anything like that at all. We don't have that. We never said that. Oh man, needless to say, the company that I worked for that owned that Pizza Hut, they were a bunch of scumbags too. They were a bunch of just irresponsible. They didn't want to pay us anything, and I'm not going to get off on a tangent about that, but yeah, they were all scumbags too, and they were lying through their teeth when they said they had this. They were just trying to scare me into submission. Isn't that ridiculous? As if I didn't already have enough fucking shit to deal with from some douchefuck stealing my car. Here is the company that I'm working for and earning money for, and they're saying that I've tried to fuck them. It was a great time. So that was one of the nails in the coffin for me of working for that company. I eventually left working for Pizza Hut, and now I work for somebody else, and actually a competitor of Pizza Hut that's just up the road. And get this, the very night that the man stole my van, he went to this very pizza place and was knocking on their door and asking people for a ride up to the city. And then they all told him no, and he goes straight over to my van and steals it. Came around full circle, but again, this was all a year ago, guys. I do have my van back, and I'm trying to sell it because I don't want it anymore. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, let me know. Give me a big thumbs up. Leave a comment. Did anybody steal your van once? I'd like to hear about it. Thanks again so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, be sure to click subscribe. Plenty of videos on my channel for you to check out. I love you very much, and I will see you in the next video.